Hi guys, welcome to Chris from Golf. We're at the Belfry again today in the TaylorMade Fitting Suite, and we're going to do a video on hitting the driver off the deck. Now, just want to get one thing straight before we start this video. I do not advise that you go on the golf course in your next medal or tournament and try and hit the driver off the deck. It's a shot which we should never really use. It does have its place, you know, maybe extremely windy conditions, maybe links golf, something like that, or the lie has to be right, but it's really a difficult shot to hit. Even the most accomplished golfers shouldn't really attempt it, simply because the centre of the golf club is sort of up here somewhere. So when the ball is on the ground, we really physically can't hit the middle of the golf club. So the best we're going to do is a low strike, and often you'll find it won't go as far as your three would. However, in practice, hitting the driver off the deck does have its place, and it's something that certain types of golfers can benefit from. So we're just going to go through which types of golfers they are, why they should hit the driver off the deck, and what it's going to do for their golf swing. So if you're the kind of golfer who hits, you know, quite large right to left ball flights, so quite a lot of shape, generally tends to hit the odd push out right as their bad shot, or maybe a one that hooks significantly to the left, you are probably going to have a club path which is excessively out to the right of target. Now, as a general rule, and there are exceptions, we know that, there's, you know, not every case, but most golfers who have a club path which is excessively out to the right, with a driver will generally tend to have quite an excessive attack angle, so the club is rising quite a long way up through impact. So I know that me personally, this is a good example. I know my club path is about 5 or 6 degrees out to the right with the driver, and I know that my attack angle is a little bit too much on the way up. So when you give me a driver and you allow me to peg it up on a nice high tee peg, I generally can hit the club okay. You know, it generally has a little bit too much right to left on it, but I can generally get away with that. When the ball is on the ground, I really struggle. So if I quickly show you sort of what I mean, so obviously this ball's not teed up. So my tendency would be to make a backswing and then get the club a little bit on the inside coming down, which means that my low point tends to get too far behind the golf ball, which means that my path is a little bit out to the right, and I tend to hit very much up on that golf ball. Now, as you can probably see from the camera angle, that's not going to work too well with that ball's on the ground. If you raise that ball up onto a tee peg, I can just about get away with it. But when the ball's on the ground, I really struggle. So for me, hitting driver off the ground normally starts with me hitting a couple of heel shots or a couple of top shots which go about 40 yards. But what it does for me is it starts to educate me into the fact that I need to get the club a little bit more in front of me. On the way down, here I need to get the club a little bit less sort of behind me, and to feel like I'm hitting down on the ball and hitting left of target. Now, in reality that doesn't happen. I've used TrackMan with this and it really doesn't happen, but the feeling for me is that I hit down and left, which is really the opposite feeling to what actually happens, which is up and right. So if you're the kind of golfer who hits big hooks, you generally hit that ball quite high with a driver, feel like you're maybe hitting a little bit more up on it, hitting the driver off the deck is going to be really, really useful. So let me go ahead and hit one, and we're going to go through maybe another group of golfers who could benefit from this drill as well. So this is not an easy shot, so I'll do the best I can. Okay. Not bad. A little bit at the bottom, but obviously that's going to be at the bottom, but I felt that was maybe not as good as I could do. But I say, this is difficult for me. This is why I tend to do this drill, because it actually helps me. I don't expect to hit this shot perfectly every time. What I will find is that if I practice, towards the end I'm starting to hit them better because I've started to change some things in my golf swing. This is a really good drill because it's a task-led change. So there's not much technical thought here. I'm not trying to sort of move the club back and think I need to sort of steepen the shaft angle that way. I need to get the club a little bit more right here. I'm simply setting myself a task. Initially I struggle, and because I'm struggling, I make the necessary adjustments to hit that ball as I need to. So the task itself is leading me down some changes which are pretty good. So I like this drill for that. So the other types of golfer are going to be the ones who just have too much up in their golf swing. So the golfer who maybe, you know, gets a little bit stuck this way and starts to get the club, say, to bottom out too early, and the club is rising very much up through impact, they're going to find that this drill is incredibly difficult, because if we do that, we're only really ever going to hit the sort of top of the golf ball, such as this. So if you're the kind of golfer who feels they get a little bit stuck on the back foot and maybe has got an excessive upward in their impact, then this is a really good drill, because what it's going to do, again, same sort of thing. The task itself is going to lead you down a different route. I'm going to make a backswing, and I'm going to realise that I need to get a little bit more onto my lead leg and feel, that's the key word there, feel like it's a steeper approach to get any kind of club on ball. So if you are the type of golfer who feels that they've got, you know, the path way too much to the right of target, or you feel like you've got too much up in your golf swing, maybe your upper body falls back into the downswing and you get stuck in that back leg, it's a good drill. Okay, we don't want you to go to the range and hit 100 drivers off the deck, it's not going to do any good. But just 4 or 5, get the feeling, peg the ball up, hit a few drives. Back to the deck, 4 or 5, get the feeling, peg a few up and hit them. So it just creates the right feelings. So I'm just going to hit one more. So I'm going to set myself exactly as I would normally, no change. But I say for me, I'm going to have to feel like I swing a little bit more down and a little bit more left. That was actually a much better shot there. That's really interesting because I certainly felt, to me, that I was hitting down and I felt like the club was travelling well left to target. In reality, that probably didn't happen, and the ball flight would suggest that it was actually a good swing rather than what I felt was a down and left. That felt to me as if that ball was going to carve left to right and finish up on the right side, but it was actually a pretty straight shot. So the feel is very different to the real, we know that, but this drill is very good if you are, I say, the type of golfer who falls into one of those 2 categories. I say, just don't do the drill excessively, don't do 100 balls, 150 balls, just use it sparingly, use it to create the right feelings, and then go ahead and hit some shots and try and employ those feelings into the same golf swing. So thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, post any comments down below, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already. All these videos are free. There's more content going up each week. So hopefully you'll play a little bit better golf after watching these and enjoy your game a little bit more. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again soon.